Hello, everybody. This is Kumarjeet from YASH Technologies, and in this session, I'm going to talk about ransomware attack detection and prevention. So, what is ransomware, and who is the target of this kind of an attack, which is there? Now, in our views, ransomware has been in the market for a very long time, and everybody who has a network is a target for this. Why have these attacks become so important right now? I personally feel there are two reasons why they have gained so much importance right now. Is that number one is the media coverage which is there on these attacks has increased a lot. And because of the media coverage, this has turned into an industry about which I'll speak about it a little later. The second point is the payment techniques on the Bitcoin. Bitcoins are a huge amount of money which can be transferred from point A to B without any trace, without any banking. So there's a lot of anonymity which is involved in that. Without any trace, the money gets transferred. So in my view, these are the two reasons why this has become a very, very important aspect in the industry. Now, I also spoke about ransomware being an industry. So there's a very hierarchical aspect of this entire space where there are people who specialize in creating ransomware. Then there are people who take the solutions and they sell it in the dark web. So that's the second tier of people. Then there are third tier of people who are actually buying that. They have their networks and they go and look for companies where they can deploy this. Below this company, there are people who have already exploited the networks of enterprises and they are already got access to vulnerable machines and systems. So how the system works is that the person who has access to a vulnerability machine sells it to a person who is looking to enter and attack a company from a ransomware attack and launch a ransomware attack on that. So if you see this entire solution, every enterprise is a client and any enterprise who pays becomes a preferred customer for that particular attacker. So in this way, you see there is a parallel economy which is existing and it is proliferating because of the anonymity of the dark web, anonymity of the payments and acceptance of cash from our side. The ecosystem of development of ransomware is also become a big problem which is there, and there is no single silver bullet which can solve this problem for you. So now we come to the next point, that how do we solve this particular problem? Now in YASH Technologies, we have a concept where we say that it is the people, process and technology. When they are all merged together, only then a holistic solution can come for ransomware. So how do we help enterprises? How can we help you? That's a question which a lot of people may have. YASH Enterprises has many verticals in the cybersecurity division, and our virtual CISO is a company, is a function where we have SMEs who can come and understand your environment and then provide it. How does a person decide? How does a company decide that, entity decide that, attacker decide that how can we come and attack a particular enterprise? So they look for companies where the IT and the cyber hygiene of a particular environment is low. Once they have identified that, they penetrate it and then they do a reconnaissance and they move laterally within the organization. Once they have that control, it is at that point of time when they have identified the critical assets within the organization that they launch their ransomware attack. The idea is to cripple an enterprise and not let it work properly. Usually these attacks are done late in the night, on holidays, national holidays, and typically it has been seen that it takes about 23 days time for an enterprise to recover from an attack. The latest one we know is the Maersk's shipping line industry, where the entire shipping industry of Maersk had come to a standstill because of a ransomware attack. So how can we help you? With this as a background, YASH Technologies has a good solution where we improve your cyber hygiene, where we make policies and procedures on how we should prevent such attacks and improve the cyber resiliency. We also have training programs for people to train them on on the do's and don'ts of how we can prevent ourselves from being a victim of from a ransomware attack. We also have experts where we identify your critical assets. We implement privilege access management and identity governance solutions in that. Once we have done that, we protect it. And then we develop a cyber resiliency within your organization. So whether or not an attack happens, because of a strong and a cyber resilient network, we can recover from a ransomware attack very easily. We also have our 24 by 7 next gen SOC, where AI, machine learning, and all components are put in, which prevents and helps us to identify such attacks or aberrations in the network. So this is a small 2-minute video which tells you about what ransomware attack is. It's a very, very complex problem. And in case you need any help, please reach out to YASH Technologies and we'll be more than happy to have a session with our subject matter experts. I'd be love to be hearing from you. Reach out to me and we can have a quick session on this. Thank you.